Hello you guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys the supplies that helped me get through my pre-nursing courses. For those of you that don't know, I do have a previous degree, and so I didn't have to complete all of the gen eds over again. And so I originally started out at Ivy Tech, and I completed my Anatomy 1 and 2, Chemistry 101, Psychology 101, Advanced Human Physiology, and Quantitative Reasoning at Ivy Tech. I was gonna do their ADN program, but I didn't get in, so I ended up transferring to WGU, which was great for me because they ended up working better with my schedule. And so for the classes that I had complete for WGU, I had to, for their pre-nursing program, I had to complete critical thinking, nutrition and wellness, applied algebra, microbiology with lab, human growth and development, pathophysiology, med dose and pharmacology, and fundamentals. So those are the classes that I completed, and so I've completed all my prereqs for WGU, and I will start the nursing program in March. So the first thing that I think that you'll need, which is really important, is an iPad and a laptop. If you can marry the two together, that is perfect. I like using my iPad for when I like to write down my notes, and I would download the notes. Download the PowerPoints on the Notability, which is $15 for the year. You can also record lectures on there as well. And then they just added kind of like a Chat GPT app or feature where they will quiz you over the study guide that you download on there. So I really like Notability because I could download, like I said, the PowerPoints, and then I could also submit assignments. So I would download the assignment from Canvas, handwrite them, and then resubmit them back to Canvas. So I like that feature. Another app that I like is Quizlet. Now, the first time I went to college, I liked Quizlet because it was free, but now you do have to pay for certain specialty features, so I don't really like that. But for the most part, it is good. It's great, actually. All you have to do is search your school that you're going to and maybe like the course title, and you can find Quizlets from previous students or previous professors on there. So I do like that. Real quick. If you are trying to save money on buying an iPad or a laptop, I don't think that you need to just buy a new iPad and laptop. If what you are using now is working, I say use that. Don't get caught up in the rigmarole of having to get everything new. If it is working, go ahead and use it. For me personally, I had an iPad. I bought an iPad in 2021. I used that for my schooling. Love it. I did end up having to get a new laptop because my one from 2016 kept shutting down on me. And I knew that that just was not going to work for school. So my father-in-law bought me one from the pawn shop, and then we ended up paying him back. It's a HP, and it was $200-ish dollars. You can also check out Best Buy and Apple. They have like a refurbished program if like the box is opened or if a customer returned it or something like that. So I would say look on there if you want to save some money. I also got a wireless mouse because I just like the wireless mouse better than the mouse pad on the laptop. I also use headphones. Also for the tech part, and this is more specifically for WGU, but I did get a Logitech webcam for my tests, and this tripod I already had just from doing YouTube and stuff. So if you go to WGU, you will need a webcam, and it does have to be external. So I got those. What else did I wanted to mention something, but I literally just forgot. I forget. Maybe I'll come back to it. Other supplies is binders. So the one that I used the most was this binder. It's a 1-inch binder. And for each class, I would just take out, like once I passed the class, I would just take out the material and then put new sheets or paper in this binder and carry it back and forth with me to work and to study in. For some of my more heavier courses, I use like a 3-inch binder. And then I would get the dividers where it's like the full page divider. But for the most part, I use the tabs, which I love. So that way I know what I'm studying, I guess. So binders, college rule paper. And I also like the 5-star 5-subject notebooks. Love those. And then this notebook that I'm currently using right now, I got it off of Amazon. It is 300 pages, which I also love because you're going to be doing a lot of writing in nursing school and pre-nursing school. You're going to be doing a lot of writing. So 300 pages. I think it's 150 single pages, but 300 front and back. It comes with this little pen tab. It came with some tabs and then this little like ribbon divider. Okay, let me get back to the page that I was on. Okay. Some other supplies that you may need, depending on what, and I felt like what I learned the most is that with each course, I learned, okay, what would work best. So would it be Notability? Would it be downloading a study guide and then filling out the questions? Or would it be writing so that way I could draw it out? So you kind of just have to see what works best for you, and it may change from class to class, and just be open to that. So give yourself multiple avenues: your laptop, your iPad, paper, flashcards. So next, writing utensils, mechanical pencils, plus your lead. And then what was a game changer for me was these erasable pens. I saw some nurses that I work with, they love these pens, and so I bought some. They are $5 for a pack of 3. Now, because I do so much writing, I was going through the ink like crazy, and I would just throw the whole pen away when I was done. Oh, I didn't know any better. So at first I didn't know that you could buy the refills. So I ended up buying the refills, and I think I got 12 refills for $10. So I started buying those off of Amazon to put in my pens when they run out. So I will no longer be throwing away these pens, because I would run out of the ink, but I would still have like a bunch of eraser to use. So get you some erasable pens. Love those. I also like the whiteout tape too, for when I make mistakes, because I make a lot of mistakes when writing. What else? For WGU specifically, I did end up using one of my kitchen whiteboards for when I do my tests, so you will need to get a whiteboard. They do send you one, but I found that one was hard to erase with, so I just used one that I would normally write my grocery list on. So I use this for when I take my tests. What else? You will also need a calendar. So I have, well, you know, you see my calendar, but I have a calendar because I'm a mom and a wife, and I also work. So it's good just to stay organized, to see like who's going to be where, who's going to be watching the kids, and, you know, things like that. You'll also need a planner. I use my planner more heavily when I was going to Ivy Tech and I had my in-person classes and they had more of a deadline. So I use my planner a lot then. My next thing that I would suggest you get, now this is optional. It really is optional. So with my previous degree, my university gave us 200 prints per semester, I think. 200 or either 500 prints. So it was built into our tuition, so I used that. With Ivy Tech, they only gave us like $5 worth of prints to start with, and then it was up to you to add more money onto it. So what I would suggest, if you have the extra funds, is get yourself a printer and copier paper. Now, again, look at your pawn shops or look at Facebook Marketplace too. I was blessed enough that my brother-in-law had an extra one. So I have my printer sitting down here with the copier paper and the ink. Copier paper, I think, is like $5 for 500 pages. Because you will be printing a lot of stuff. If you can swing it and your job's not gonna get mad at you, try to print some stuff out at your job. Hey. But you know, use your own discretion. I don't want to get anybody fired. But that is, to me, like a splurge purchase. It's not necessary, but it's a splurge. Or you could also use your library card. I think where I live, I think it's like 10 cents a print or 5 cents a print, 20 cents a print for color. What else? So another thing that I used more so specifically when I was in critical thinking, I used so it's blank flashcards on a ring, and you get 1,000 cards and 5 rings. And they also have these little like dividers that you can put in your flashcards. And I use these mainly when I was in, so you can hole punch it. I have a little hole punch here for the dividers. But I use these mainly for critical thinking when I needed the definition and then the like word on the back. You can use these for other classes too. But that's what I mainly used it for. And then I think, what else? I can't remember what other class I used this for, but these were great because to me, I didn't need the big flashcards because I felt like it was kind of like a waste of space for what I was trying to use it for. But for those quick things where it's just like the definition, I say get these mini ones because it'll save you, I think it'll save you money in the long run because you're using these smaller cards as opposed to using the bigger cards, but you're wasting so much space. So on top of that, now there will be a time when you do need, let me get my larger flashcards. When you will need larger flashcards. So I use these larger flashcards for when I was in pharmacology. And so I would write the drug or the drug class. And then I would write like the mechanics of action, the side effects, adverse effects, whatever else I was writing on there. I can't remember now. And then I would also use these other cards for when I didn't need quite as much space, but then it also wouldn't fit on there. So you just kind of have to see what course aligns with your method of studying, I think. What else do I have on here? Oh, I would suggest you get plenty of highlighters. If you're in anatomy, colored pencils so you can color the different body parts. A lot of times my class didn't require, but I know other classes require that you get the anatomy physiology book. So you'll need to get some colored pencils. I think just get you a bunch of highlighters, pens, because you never know. Sometimes you may want to write stuff in a different color, or sometimes you may want to just do a highlighted strip and then write in whatever it is that you're trying to write in. So stock up on those. Okay, let's see what else. What also like helped-ish me during these classes was I would log onto the site called Study Space. I don't know. I can't remember the right name of it. I may link it down below. But I would just log on there. There'd be music playing in the background, and then there's other people studying. I like that, especially if you're an online student. Sometimes it can kind of be kind of lonely. So you can log onto this site and study with other students, and there's music in the background, and it's just, I don't know, it's a good way to connect. You don't have to say anything, but it's a good way to like feel like you're in that study environment, which I love. Okay, so the next thing that I'm going to mention, the next segment of this video is kind of going to be like the parent or independent student, independent student edition. So like if you are a mom or dad, because I do see that we do have a few males on my channel, so I want to make sure that I include them too. So to me, how I would, because a lot of times people say, how do you balance being a mom and being a student? And to me, the perfect analogy for that is like, I don't know if you've ever seen like a photo, or like people comparing like when you bake cookies, if you use more butter versus less butter, more sugar versus less sugar, more baking soda versus less baking soda, and how you get different cookies. I feel like that is the perfect analogy for what it is like when you're a student and you're a parent. So some days I feel like I'm killing it in the mommy game. I may take my kids to the like jungle gym or something, but I'm not studying a whole lot, versus other days I am studying a lot and not really spending as much time with my kids as I would like, but I got to get through the program. I feel like it's kind of like that. So things that help me out. Crock pot. Get yourself a crock pot so that way you can just throw things in the crock pot maybe in the morning and then have dinner ready at night. You can also do this for breakfast too, just do the reverse. So maybe do like some eggs, sausage, onions, red bell pepper, whatever, thrown in the crock pot. You got dinner ready. What I love to use is my Ninja. It's an air fryer and pressure cooker. It cooks things super fast, which I like. So sometimes if I don't have time to set out the chicken in the morning, or I may forget to tell my husband to set it out, I can literally throw a whole frozen chicken in that thing, pressure cook it, and have dinner ready faster than what it would be if I did the oven and did like a whole hour and something to cook it. So yeah, crock pot, air fryer, or pressure cooker. Love those. Awesome. Now, I know you may be on a tight budget, because I'm on a tight budget as well. But sometimes you may have to use the grocery delivery service. So Walmart grocery delivery, DoorDash for your groceries. I feel like it's a little bit more expensive now than when it came out during the pandemic, but some weeks I just have so much stuff going on and I'm just like, okay, I can't do it all. So I may have to use Instacart for my groceries, because it takes something off of my list of responsibilities to do. It may cost a little bit more. Now, I don't do it every week, but some weeks where it's just super busy, I'm just gonna have to bite the bullet and use Instacart, because we got to get groceries. I also have to study and I have other things to do. So using Instacart or whatever grocery delivery service you prefer, use that. I'm not saying use it every week, but some days where it's a little bit more course or content heavy, use that resource. If you have kids, I know nobody wants to have their kid. No, everybody wants to be mindful of their kids and their screen time. But if you are trying to get through this degree, you're going to have to pull out those tablets. And you're going to have to pull out that TV sometimes. I'm grateful my father-in-law bought my kids tablets, so I do use that as a resource when I do need to study. They also have a TV in their room, so I put that on for them, put a little movie on for them while mommy studies. It's not always going to be like this, but for right now, I got to get through this degree, especially because I'm paying for it by myself, because I don't get any financial aid since I already have a degree. So I'm not wasting any time. So yes, I don't like it either. I don't want my kids to be iPad kids, but I also need to study. Especially a lot of times my husband is working, because he has to work since I'm in school and studying. I don't work full time, so he has to work. So I need that. Another thing, you need to have a set schedule for bedtime. For me personally, I like to put my kids to bed at 7:30. Some people think that's too early, but for me, if I'm getting up at 5 o'clock, I need that time, because I need my me time before I go to bed. So I will put them in their room. Sometimes I put on a movie, sometimes I won't. It just depends. So have that set bedtime for your kids. Also, laundry. The laundry is going to pile up. It is what it is. When we were at our old apartment anytime I would come to the door, I would just do a load just real quick. The door was right there and then the laundry was right there. So I would just go ahead and do a load of laundry.
What's
I also want to mention,
Spider-Man?
not right now. I also want to mention that there are laundry washing services where you can pay for somebody to pick up your laundry and they will wash it for you. And I think it's pay per pound, I think is how it works. But check and see if they have those services in your area. I know it's a great postpartum gift as well for your friends that are in postpartum. So maybe if you don't want to splurge on the grocery delivery service, you may want to splurge on the laundry service. So that's another resource for you guys. Another thing that I think helps is having a Costco and Sam's membership. You don't have to have both. I just happen to have both or have relatives that have it, so I use theirs. That helps me not have to go to the grocery store every week. I go every 2 weeks, and that food normally lasts us. I know my sister, she's also a mom and she's in school. She uses the Save and Subscribed on Amazon. Now you got to be careful with that. If you're not really using the products or whatever, it'll continue to just charge it. But I think that goes along with like using your delivery grocery services. So you can use the Save and Subscribe with Amazon. Like if you guys are always going through toilet paper or toothpaste or whatever, you can go ahead and put that on there. What else? Reaching out for help, especially if you're a parent in school. Just tell people that you're in school or tell your relatives and things that you're in school. Also pray for God to send you help. I've done that. I need to do it more than what I do, but like, because I don't always know how to ask, I just pray, God, send me people that want to help me. So like I said, reaching out for help. I'm pretty sure your university has a tutoring service. Use that tutoring service. I can guarantee you this. When I was in chemistry, I would not have passed without my tutoring service. So use that. What else? You also need to have a low impact job. And what I mean by that is a job that will allow you to study in your downtime. Some jobs, they don't like for you to do that. And I would say maybe you need to switch jobs, but I have a job where I work in a labor and delivery floor. I've told everybody that I want to go into nursing. Even when I used to work on the cardiac floor, I told them I wanted to go into nursing, and I would study in my downtime because that's how you're going to maximize your time, is by multitasking. Now, I'm not saying neglect your other duties, but in your downtime, pull out your book and study, pull up some lectures and listen to them. If, let's say, so another job that I'm thinking of is like if you have a job where you stock the shelves at the grocery store, listen to a lecture in one of your headphones if you're allowed. Listen to a lecture. If you're a secretary or admin, in your downtime, you need to be pulling out your notes. If you're driving a lot for your job, you need to be listening to lectures. Some of those, like, that's what I would consider a I don't know how else to say it, but like a low impact job where you don't have to do, I don't know, not necessarily to say that you don't have to do a lot, but it's like you can kind of multitask with studying, I guess you could say. Take that however you want. I also put on here a job that supports your setting. So I think I already covered that. If they don't support your setting, I think you need to look for another job. That's just being honest. Another thing is getting up early or staying up late. You're just going to have to do it as a sacrifice. If you're a parent, I know for me personally, I'm a mom and a wife. So a lot of days, on the days that I work, I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning to go work out, and then I go to work. And then on days that I don't work, now I have been here slacking a little bit, but a lot of the times I get up at like 4 or 6 to either go to the gym and go work out, so that way I can get some movement and some self-care, because that is also important to get movement in while you're being a student. And because you are sitting for hours and hours and hours, and so it's easy for the pounds just to gain. I don't know if you've seen those posts where it's like during nursing school versus after nursing school, And like some people say that they gain weight during nursing school just from the stress, the eating, the sitting for hours and hours. So what I try to do is go to the gym because I'm trying not to neglect my health and my self-care while I'm in nursing school. My husband just did my eyebrows for me because I did neglect those, but I did not neglect going to the gym. What else? I put on here making coffee at home. That's also going to help you save money. And then I think to me, that's also like a self-care thing that you can do for yourself. Get you your little syrups or whatever, your flavorings. I'm trying to think if there's anything else that I used for my pre-nursing classes. Crash Course helped out a lot. Nurse Sarah helped out a lot. Nexus Nursing Institute helped out. And then Pixarize. Some people like Picmonic, but I preferred Pixarize. Helped me out in pharmacology. And then Simple Nursing, I cannot just say that enough. I'm not trying to sound like a salesperson, but when I literally went from struggling in pharmacology to finally getting the concepts, I have to give Nurse Mike his flowers because he helped me pass that class and then also helped me with fundamentals. Also Level Up RN. That's a good one to use as well. I just preferred Simple Nursing because he had like funny mnemonics and I would hear his voice in my head when I was taking my tests, and he had like nice graphics, and I just liked his personality. So I think that that's everything. I know you guys can hear my kids, but I'm a mom, so I'm not going to stop recording. I've already tried to record this like 6 times, so if you hear them, you hear them. But anyway, that is everything that I have for you guys. If I forgot anything, I'll try to put it in the description box. But yeah, those are all the things that help me get through my pre-nursing prerequisite classes. If you guys have any questions, leave them down in the comment section and I will try to answer them when I can or as best as I can. But until then, I hope that you guys are having a great day or a great night, and I hope that your nursing program or pre-nursing program is going well. Yes, it's going to be hard, but reach out to God for prayer and reach out to your community. Build a community if you can. That's something that I also need to work on, is building more of a community. But yeah, that's all that I have for you guys. Thank you so much for watching this video, and good luck on your pre-nursing nursing journey.